If you've ever walked past an old timber building or seen centuries-old beams emerge from the earth virtually intact, you may have wondered how wood could survive so long without modern chemicals. It's not luck. It's craft, chemistry, and survival born out of necessity. The methods medieval craftsmen and Vikings used to preserve wood were so effective that even today, with all our technology, modern preservatives often fall short. And for some reason, almost no one talks about it. Today, on The Hard Past, we're going to uncover this lost technique, show you exactly how it worked, and explain how you can recreate it safely and effectively at home. But before we dive in, if you want to see more forgotten methods that actually work, make sure to like this video, share it with friends who love history, comment below with your thoughts or questions, and subscribe to The Hard Past so you never miss a technique that history itself relied on. You know, medieval people didn't think of timber as just building material. Their entire lives depended on it, really. Barns, homes, fences, tools, and even vehicles like wagons relied on sturdy wood. If rot set into a post or support beam, it wasn't a minor inconvenience. It was a structural failure waiting to happen. Survival in that world meant knowing how to make wood last. And the solution was far from complicated. It relied on 3 ingredients, all natural, all widely available, and all remarkably effective: pine tar, boiled linseed oil, and wood ash. The cornerstone of this method was pine tar. Unlike the sticky, shiny substances you might buy today, the pine tar of the medieval world was a thick, smoky resin derived from slowly burning pine stumps in low oxygen pits. This process produced a tar so rich and dense that it could resist rot, repel water, and fight fungi. Vikings knew this better than anyone. They coated their ships with pine tar, creating a barrier that could endure harsh saltwater and brutal northern winters. Farmers and builders quickly realized that the same substance could protect wagons, tool handles, and beams. When gently warmed, the tar became fluid enough to penetrate deeply into the wood's pores, sealing it from the inside out. The key was patience. Medieval craftsmen didn't rush this. They applied heat slowly, allowing the tar to thin without boiling, so it would soak deeply and cure naturally. But pine tar alone was not enough. On its own, it could be too thick to reach every fibre of the wood. That's where boiled linseed oil entered the equation. Linseed oil had long been a staple of European craftsmanship, prized for its ability to penetrate and protect. Mixed equally with warm pine tar, linseed oil carried the resin far into the wood, creating a flexible, durable armour that hardened over time. The mixture soaked in rather than sitting on the surface, which is what gave medieval wood its legendary longevity. One coat already offered significant protection. 2 or 3, applied carefully, could keep beams resilient for decades. The third ingredient, often overlooked but vital, was wood ash. Medieval builders understood something modern science confirms today. Fungi and decay cannot thrive in alkaline conditions. By sifting hardwood ash into the pine tar and linseed oil mixture, They created an environment hostile to rot. Ash also thickened the mixture slightly, gave it a matte finish, and added mineral reinforcement that further protected the wood. The combination of resin, oil and ash was not mystical. It was precise chemistry developed through observation, trial and necessity. Application was as important as the mixture itself. Smaller beams were often fully submerged in warm troughs of the mixture, ensuring complete saturation. Larger posts and timbers were rolled and brushed repeatedly, allowing the protective blend to penetrate the wood naturally through capillary action. Unlike modern pressure-treated methods, this technique did not rely on artificial chemicals forcing their way into the grain. It worked with the wood, not against it, respecting the living material's natural structure while fortifying it against moisture, insects, and decay. Today, recreating this method is entirely feasible, even on a backyard scale. Warm your pine tar slowly until it flows like syrup. Mix it with equal parts boiled linseed oil, and gradually add fine hardwood ash to a mud-like consistency. Submerge small boards or thoroughly brush larger timbers, allowing the wood to absorb the mixture. One coat is effective, but 3 coats, with proper absorption between applications, create what medieval builders trusted with their lives: wood that survives decades outdoors without rotting. Tool handles, fence posts, garden beds, furniture, and even cabin siding can benefit from this approach, giving you centuries-tested protection without the environmental and chemical costs of modern preservatives. What makes this method extraordinary isn't just its effectiveness, it's its elegance. Medieval craftsmen solved critical survival problems using simple, sustainable materials. There were no laboratories, no synthetic chemicals, no expensive presses. There was observation, patience, and a deep understanding of the materials at hand. Their solutions were precise, resilient, and tuned to the environment in a way modern shortcuts rarely are. By reviving these techniques today, we gain both functional durability and a connection to the ingenuity of those who lived before us. So, if you're passionate about historical craftsmanship, off-grid living reenactments, homesteading, or simply want to preserve your wood the way it was done for centuries, this is one skill worth mastering. By using pine tar, boiled linseed oil and ash, you're not just protecting wood, you're connecting with a legacy of practical knowledge built on survival, observation, and respect for natural materials. If you enjoyed this deep dive into medieval wood preservation, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. Subscribe to The Hard Past so we can continue uncovering forgotten techniques that actually work. History isn't just about stories, it's about solutions we can still use today. Keep exploring and keep the past alive.